We love to think we have all the time in the world to figure things out. We coast along, operating on societal defaults, assuming that wisdom will just sort of hit us like a lightning bolt when we turn 40 or 50. But let's be honest, life doesn't work that way. Most of the heaviest, most defining truths of existence are only realized after we've already spent decades doing things the hard way. I'm not talking about grand philosophical theories. I'm talking about those sharp, sudden realizations that make you pause, stare at the wall, and think, man, I wish I knew that 10 years ago. You don't have to wait until the tank is running low to learn how the engine works. Pick one of these truths to sit with today, or pick 5. You don't have to master them all by tomorrow morning, but keeping them in your peripheral vision will save you a massive amount of regret down the line. No one is thinking about you as much as you think they are. We spend our youth paralyzed by what they will think. What if I fail? What if I look stupid? Here is the liberating truth. Everyone else is far too busy worrying about their own flaws, their own bills, and their own awkward moments to spend more than a passing second judging yours. You are the main character of your life, but you're just a background extra in everyone else's. Act accordingly. Happiness is a daily practice, not a destination. We've been conditioned to think, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, buy that house, find that partner. That's a mirage. Once you reach the destination, your baseline resets and you start looking for the next thing. Happiness isn't a trophy at the end of the race. It's the ability to enjoy the scenery while you're running it. If you can't find joy in a quiet Tuesday morning coffee right now, a bigger house won't fix it. Your health is a crown that only the sick can see. When you're young, your body is incredibly forgiving. You can survive on 4 hours of sleep, junk food, and stress, and bounce right back. But your body keeps a ledger, and eventually, it collects its debts. Taking care of your back, your teeth, your joints, and your mind isn't boring adult stuff. It is the single greatest investment you will ever make. Don't wait for a medical scare to start treating your body like it has to last you a lifetime. You can't change the people you love. This is a tough pill to swallow. We often enter relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or familial, thinking they have so much potential. I can fix them. You can't. People only change when the pain of staying the same exceeds the pain of changing. And that is an inside job. You can love them, you can support them, or you can walk away. But trying to force them to change will only drain your battery and breed resentment. When you say yes to things you secretly despise just to keep the peace, you are actively saying no to your own mental sanity. You aren't being nice, you're being a people pleaser. And people-pleasing is just a fancy word for lying about your boundaries. Protecting your time isn't selfish. If you don't prioritize your life, someone else will gladly spend it for you. Burning bridges feels great in the moment, but the smoke gets in your eyes. The internet loves to tell you to cut people off at the slightest offense. While boundaries are essential, the world is remarkably small, and the circles you run in are even smaller. An ego-driven explosion might give you a temporary rush of vindication, but maturity is learning to quietly distance yourself from toxic situations without creating a theatrical war. Leave doors unlocked, even if you never intend to walk through them again. That brand new car or high-end gadget feels amazing for about 3 weeks. Then it just becomes another thing you have to ensure, protect, clean, and worry about scratching. True wealth isn't a driveway full of depreciating assets. It's the freedom to control your time, work on what you want, and sleep peacefully at night without debt hanging over your head. We waste so much precious breath trying to win arguments that won't matter in 20 minutes, let alone 20 years. Winning an argument at the expense of hurting someone's dignity is a net loss. Next time you feel the urge to crush someone with a witty comeback or prove your intellectual superiority, ask yourself, what do I actually gain from winning this? Usually, the answer is nothing but an inflated ego. We wear armor because we're terrified of rejection or looking foolish. We play it cool, keep people at arm's length, and act like we don't care. But shielding yourself from pain also shields you from deep connection. The most magnetic, memorable people are those who have the courage to say, "I don't know, I need help," or "I care about you." It takes zero effort to be cynical. It takes real strength to be open. Just because you share DNA with someone doesn't give them a lifetime pass to disrespect your boundaries, mistreat you, or drag you down. If your biological family is supportive and loving, treasure them. But if they aren't, realize that you have the right to build your own chosen family, friends, mentors, and partners who actually see you, respect you, and hold you up. It might not be your fault that you were hurt, let down, or dealt a bad hand in life. The trauma, the bad breakups, the unfair circumstances, those aren't your fault. But fixing your life is your responsibility. Sitting around waiting for the person who broke you to come fix you is a prison sentence. The moment you stop playing the victim and take ownership of your recovery is the moment you get your power back. Inspiration is a fickle, unreliable friend. It shows up when it feels like it and vanishes the moment things get difficult. If you only write, exercise, work, or build your business when you feel like it, you will never finish anything. Successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on boring, predictable, daily routines. Amateurs wait for inspiration. Professionals just get to work. Good things happen to terrible people. Bad things happen to wonderful people. Hard work doesn't always guarantee success, and sometimes shortcuts pay off. If you spend your life crying out, "But that's not fair," you are fighting a losing battle against reality. Accept the cards you've been dealt. Stop comparing your hand to the person next to you, and play your cards the absolute best way you can. Hard work is admirable, and taking pride in your career is great. But never sacrifice your mental health, your family, or your youth for a company that views you as an expendable line item on a spreadsheet. Work hard during your hours. Give it your best. But when the clock strikes 5, log off. Your family will remember the dinners you missed. Your boss won't. It is very easy for people to celebrate with you when you're winning, buying rounds at the bar, and living your best life. The true test of a friendship isn't who is popping champagne with you. It's who shows up with a shovel when you are stuck in the mud. Pay attention to the people who don't change their attitude toward you when you are at your absolute lowest. Those are your people. You will never feel 100% ready to start that business, marry that person, move to that city, or change careers. There will always be a bill to pay, a risk involved, or an inconvenient detail. Waiting for the stars to perfectly align is just a sophisticated form of procrastination. Jump before you're ready and figure out how to build your parachute on the way down. Forgiveness is for you, not for the other person. Holding a grudge against someone who wronged you is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. They aren't feeling your anger. They are going about their day while you are losing sleep. Forgiving someone doesn't mean condoning what they did, and it doesn't mean letting them back into your life. It simply means dropping the heavy emotional baggage so you can walk lighter. You will regret the things you didn't do far more than the things you did. When people reach the end of their lives, they rarely look back and think, "Man, I really wish I hadn't taken that risk." Instead, they are haunted by the ghosts of the doors they never opened, the words they left unsaid, and the dreams they tucked away in a drawer because they were scared. Failure is a bruise. Regret is a chronic ache. Take the shot. It's okay to outgrow things and people. The things you loved at 18 might bore you at 28. The friends you swore would be your best men or bridesmaids might turn into strangers you occasionally double tap on social media. That isn't a tragedy. It's evolution. You are allowed to change your mind, change your values, and change your environment. Don't keep reading a book you've outgrown just because you're already halfway through it. Time moves incredibly fast, then it speeds up. When you're a kid, a single summer feels like an eternity. But as you get older, the weeks start blurring into months, and the months into years. You blink, and 5 years have passed. Time is the only currency you can never earn back. Spend it intentionally. Stop waiting for someday, and realize that the good old days you'll look back on later are happening right now, this very second. The beauty of these lessons is that you don't have to wait until you're old and gray to start using them. You can absorb them right now, right where you are. Don't let this just be another list you scroll through and forget. Pick one truth that stung a little bit when you read it. Take a deep breath, close this screen, and go do something about it. Your future self is begging you to start today.